Hello and welcome to my Strategy for Small and Mid-Sized Businesses video series. In this video we'll be looking at Michael Porter's generic strategies model. If you want to understand more about competitive strategy, there's no better starting point. Whilst it's theoretical, it's useful to help you understand the fundamentals of competitive strategy, and it's a great reference framework to help you categorise your competitive positioning and to critique whether your business model is consistent with that competitive positioning. If you struggle to explain your business using the framework, it's usually a good indicator that you lack strategic clarity. But more helpfully, it can start to explain why your business might feel difficult to manage and why you may be struggling to figure out the future growth opportunities for your business. So let's take a closer look at Michael Porter's generic strategies. Porter identified three basic ways to compete: overall cost leadership, through differentiation, or through focusing on a particular customer group or market sector. Sometimes we call these niche providers. So let's take a look at these in more detail. In developing his generic strategies, Porter looked at competitiveness in two dimensions: strategic advantage and strategic target. Let's start with the first type, overall cost leadership. The basic premise here is that they serve an entire industry or market and build a dominant position based on cost. In these types of businesses, we usually see efficient, large-scale facilities, a vigorous pursuit of cost down through knowledge, tight cost and overhead control, and avoidance of marginal customer accounts. Costs are usually minimized in R&D, customer service, sales, and advertising. Often cost management is an overarching theme that runs throughout the entire organization. The cost leadership position is usually a resilient defense against competitors, buyers, substitutes, new entrants, and suppliers. Companies who adopt this strategy are often the last man standing after intense competition. Usually there are high barriers to entry, such as the need to produce at volume for economies of scale, large capital investments in state-of-the-art equipment, and positions of high market share and market dominance. Whereas Type 2 still aims to serve an entire industry or market, but it chooses to compete based on differentiation. It might do this through its product or technology, design, image, features, personalization, or by offering a better customer experience in terms of service, customer care, customer journey, or communication. Or it may choose to differentiate itself on other dimensions, such as quality, delivery, flexibility, or exclusivity. Whilst being differentiated doesn't allow the firm to ignore costs, it does provide a defendable position for coping with market forces, whilst yielding above average returns, and it often creates long-term customer loyalty. Over the years, I've had many clients claiming to be differentiated. Unfortunately, many of them didn't understand how to create and leverage differentiation in a way that drives profit and cash. Now let's take a look at Type 3. This is the type which I find the most interesting because they choose to compete by serving a particular customer group, segment of a product line, or particular geography, and the whole premise of their competitive positioning is based on the fact that they can do it better than Types 1 or 2. So their service or product might be absolutely pitch perfect for a narrow customer group, a kind of acute differentiation. Or, because of their narrow focus, they can do it much more cost effectively than Type 1. So I find these sorts of businesses the most fascinating. So Types 1, 2 and 3 all provide viable approaches to combat competitive forces. But what about the business that fails to develop its strategy in at least one of these three options? Well, unfortunately, they become stuck in the middle. Often this position is difficult to escape, and the leadership team exhibit what I call flip-flop behaviour, jumping between opportunities or initiatives from one year to the next. More often than not, these businesses have been run by leaders who have failed to understand the long-term importance and value of proper strategy. They often lack market share, capital investment, or the capability to be the cost leader, and they lack the focus or creativity to create differentiation. These types of businesses often try and grab whatever opportunities they can for survival. Longer term, as their scaling becomes unmanageable, they suffer low profitability and they lose their high volume, low margin customers to cost leader type 1 companies, and their differentiated high margin cream customers are picked off by type 3 companies with a good focus strategy. So there you have it, a quick overview of Porter's generic strategies. Well, I hope you found this video useful. If you'd like to know more about competitive business strategy for small and mid-sized businesses, you can go to my website and click on the Resources tab, or go to my Owen & Partners YouTube channel for more videos like this. If you need any further information or practical support implementing and benefiting from competitive business strategy, then contact us via the website or drop us an email.